Manga is good, manga is great, manga is amazing. Everyone has been saying those things to me since I have been invested in all of this. My friends have been shoving me right up in my ass on manga such as Berserk, Uzumaki, Monster, Kingdom, and shit on a list that I do not have time to read all of that. But you know I got time for? To read all of this shitty ass manga. But this is not ordinary manga. This manga actually came from him and many great mangaka that you guys obviously heard of. And this is both sad and interesting how some of these mangaka can produce gold and shit at the same time. To not overextend this video and save my eyes from this abomination, I made a simple rule for this video for all of you guys who wanted to tag along. All of these manga I mentioned are no longer than 20 chapters, some of them even more or less like just a one-shot manga. So feel free to tag along if you want to. I actually don't know what manga I should read first, but I stumbled upon this mangaka who creates Horimiya. Since I read and like Horimiya, I think this is a good place to start. When I do a little bit of research, I realized that I think I've seen that manga before. Oh yeah, it's sitting right next to me. It's been a long time since I read it, so I decided to give a quick reread over the next few hours. So we met this girl named Linda. One day she and her friends accidentally created another version of Linda, but wet. This Linda is Linda and this Linda is Ameko, and since Ameko literally just born a few panels ago, she has zero clue what is going on. So across 4 volumes of this manga, they try to give Ameko a little bit taste of human life. They teach Ameko about feelings, how to write, how friendship works, and everything else. And surprisingly, this actually turns out to be a pretty decent read. I have slight problems with the art style because I cannot distinguish this character with this character, and sometimes it's hard to understand on some panels. The overall drama they had is just wacky and not interesting, but if you look at the comedy and the dynamic between the characters, it is actually pretty entertaining. Not the worst manga I've read for sure. I came here expecting to read a bad manga, but I do not expect to read manga this bad. I did not expect manga like this came out with the same guy that can create 4K Sakuga like this. But actually, what the fuck is this manga? I have to give a point for the concept though. Not gonna lie, intergalactic NBA is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Combining two concepts that should have not been together is my thing. I should have liked this manga if I made it to the end before I had a seizure. I can't comprehend what is going on with the story. It seems like they mumble some words and start playing basketball. I didn't read this until the end, and you should not read this manga even if you think that space basketball is cool. So this girl and possibly Taluan kinda have a journey in the desert surrounded by giant monsters with creatures and stuff. They mumbling and arguing about stuff that I don't understand until they met these people. They seem pretty chill at the start until they capture them and they put them in this coliseum fighting this. I don't know what is going on. Who made this? Oh. Jokes aside, no matter how hard you try to find a bad manga from Miura sensei, you will find yourself empty-handed. Even though this is only one short manga he made, this has more story, character, and depth than any manga out there. The story is full of mysteries, and it is a bit sad because you only got 7 chapters, and those 7 chapters are not enough to contain and explain the vast universe Miura sensei is trying to create in this manga. He is one of the finest artists working on this medium, so never ever doubt his art style because you got plenty of those in this manga. If you haven't read Berserk and are still wondering how Berserk is regarded as one of the best manga, I recommend giving Giganto Makhia a try and you will understand why. It's a zombie tournament arc. Zombie tournament arc. Am I weird though? Because I really like this manga. Obviously not the most amazing manga I've read, but I get more enjoyment in this 3-chapter manga than most manga I've read before. I don't know if any of these characters resemble Full Metal Alchemist because I didn't know anything about that anime. I didn't know anything happened in this manga either. It's just a short conversation and they goes if there is something that I wish is obliterated from the face of the earth is cockroaches. God literally fell asleep and decided to abandon humanity when created this thing. Even science cannot explain how a creature can be so ugly, disgusting, and gross at the same time. The worst thing is, this bitch has freaking immunity on everything. Not even bug spray, my mom's slippers, or even superheroes can kill this thing. I think Murata Yusuke sensei and One also has the same feeling of disgust when dealing with cockroaches. Seeing them together making one-shot manga about superheroes trying to kill this son of a creature is so goddamn satisfying. I can feel the hate toward these cockroaches in every stroke Murata Yusuke sensei made in this one-shot manga. I really hope there are more manga came up with this idea. What the fuck is this? I told you before that I like a series that has a weird concept. If there is a mushroom knight gets sent to space to fight with interracial mushroom race in Mario Kingdom, you bet I will be the first one following that series. Usually it took me a few chapters or few episodes with some development to get me interested in the series, but this manga did it with just one single panel right in the beginning. This boy is diagnosed with a rare disease that makes him unable to recognize any name or face and will kill him before he becomes my hero fan. But turns out he is a freaking sociopath and he desperately wants to be unique. So when he dies, he asks the doctor to name the disease after him. But turns out there is another kid that has the same disease and she will die first, meaning the disease will be named after her, not him. He got so mad and he promised to himself to kill her before she dies from the illness. I get a second-degree cancer trying to explain the story, but that is what you get from the creator of neck-twisting, air-bending, double-thrusting incest. Anyway, I really like this manga. I don't know why this only got 7 on my anime list. It might not be for everyone, but please give this manga a try. If you watched my previous video, you know that I really like Inio Asano for many reasons. Other than he has a distinctively realistic art style and his way to tell such a story, he also has a unique, sometimes unusual way to solve the issue in his story. I expect the same thing when I opened Reiraku, but I came out pretty disappointed on this one. After his own successful first series, Fukazawa's life only has one way to go and sadly the answer is going down. His marriage breaking up, he cannot come up with another good ideas, the only thing that he loves become the thing he hated the most. He became fed up with his own life and he took it out on hiring prostitutes, sexual abuse, procrastinating and lying about his own work. Halfway through reading this manga, I really hope there is a great resolution towards the story. We are supposed to see how his life goes better, probably find a new job, find a new inspiration, or if not, let us see how he handles his depression. Not just running away with a prostitute and rape your f***ing wife. There is wacky stuff going on that made me pull out from the series. I was immersed and empathetic with the main character, but seeing him doing stuff like that, it makes me want to jump off a cliff instead. You are absolutely wrong if you are expecting good stuff for a manga that has big titty porn star wearing a Uniqlo on the cover. It's about a guy who sims for an AV actress who wears Apple Watch that make her body go big. This manga tries to blend some dark and psychological stuff in it, but it failed so badly because everyone is gonna be focusing on one thing and one thing only. It's mad that this manga has 89 chapters and I can't even get past the first 5 chapters. Don't waste your time reading this. If I were you, I would read hentai instead. What If Jason Bourne with a little bit of Conan and Now You See Me was written by the guy who writes. I don't know if this bad or this is so bad and become the best thing ever. Kinda like yo, sometimes you just can't tell what the fuck happened when explosion and some crazy shit happening and it makes the story so hard to follow, but who the fuck cares about the story anyway? It's about a guy who is a biological weapon and gets hunted by everyone. Simple. All you need to is enjoy Araki sensei creative art in this manga. There are 2 kinds of people. People who see the rating and people who read the reviews. And then there is me. I don't know what is going on this manga. On one hand, the rating is pretty low for a manga that has a lot of people reviewed like it's the first copy of the Bible. Since I'm here mad experienced and expecting to read a bad manga anyway, I went straight up reading the manga. And I'm glad I went for it. I was surprised by how Urasawa Naoki sensei can put that much detail and story in just 9 chapters. Who expects the sign that the main character follow through is a freaking thief? This is the greatest thing ever. If you read Monster, 20th Century Boys or his other creation, you know that he is really good at driving the emotion of the readers. He knows how to set up a situation where you have no other option than to follow his stories. Even though it's a pretty mediocre story in the end, all the mysteries were connected together and tied up really nicely. If you like a short mystery manga, Mujirushi is here to keep you entertained.